So good day classmates, especially Ma'am Mary. Now we were still under the obligation and contracts, and now we were talking about section 2, loss of the things due. Before we start, what is loss? So there is a loss when the object perishes, goes out commerce, disappears in such way that its existence is unknown, and lastly cannot be recovered. Also, there is impossibility of performance. Ito yung physical impossibility and legal impossibility. So, let's start now. So, in Article 1262, under of Section 2, loss of the things due. Sabi dito, an obligation which consists in the delivery of a determined thing shall be extinguished. So, ibig sabihin, pag nawala yung bagay, ibig sabihin nito ay extinguished na or wala na. Pero if it should be lost or destroyed without the fault of debtor and before he and she has incurred in delay, yun yung sabi ni Article 1262. Pero sabi rin ni Article 1262, when by law or rule or stipulation, meaning kontrata, the obligor is liable even for fortuitous event, the loss of the things does not extinguish the obligation and he shall be responsible for damages. The same rule applies when the nature of the obligation requires the assumption of risk. So when law requires liability, even in case of fortuitous event. So ano yon? So number 1, start tayo sa if debtor is in default. Number 2, when debtor promise to deliver the same thing to or more person who do not have the same interest. And lastly, when obligation arises from a crime. So yun, so let's start now sa article 1263. So in an obligation to deliver a generic thing, the loss or destruction of anything of the same kind does not extinguish the obligation. Sabi ni Article 1263 na if yung generic thing ay nawala, magiging liable pa rin kasi hindi siya nag-extinguish ng obligation under the principle genus never perishes. Pero take note, meron din namang itong exceptions. Did you heard about the word delimited generic? So I will give you an example for that. So example nito, if John obligated to deliver to Jenny 50 sacks of tomatoes from January 2025 harvest, this is delimited generic thing. Pero pag nagkaroon ng bagyo sa dapat supposedly harvest, which is January 2025, ito ay extinguish na. So, ganun lang kaiksi yun, yung delimited generic. Pero yung opposite naman nun, magiging liable na si John if hindi siya nag-extinguish ng date about sa delivery ng 50 sacks of tomatoes. So, yun lang. So, next naman nating topic, article, 1264. So, Article 1264 talks about effects of partial loss in specific thing. It answers the question, when is partial loss considered as total loss? So, ano ang partial loss? So, yung partial loss, ito yung mga bagay na di natin masasabi na talagang wala na. So, nandiyan pa sila pero may kulang lang. So, example natin yung electric fan. So, yung electric fan, wala siyang wire. Partial loss ang tawag doon. Kasi may kulang siya, may nawawala sa kanya. So yung question na paano gagawing total loss itong partial loss. So sa court yan papasok. So yung court mismo yung magde-decide kung ito bang tingnan to ay maging total loss na or wala na. Ganon. So next natin is Article 1265. Article 1265 na. So sabi dito, whenever the thing is lost in the possession of the debtor, it should be presumed that the loss was due to his fault, unless there is a proof to the contrary and without prejudice to the provisions of Article 1165. This presumption does not apply in case of earthquakes, floods, storm, or other natural calamity. So examples nito ay si John, nanghiram siya ng car kay Jenny, and then nawala din habang nasa possession ni John yung sasakyan ni Jenny, ito ay nawala. So in this part, may presumption na nawala yung sasakyan ni Jenny sa default ni John. Hindi basta pwedeng sabihin ni John na, Jenny, nawala ko yung car mo without my fault. Pag ganyan lang, it's not enough to extinguish John's obligation. He is presumed as fault. So he is liable now. Unless na si John present some proof na nagpapakita na it is lost through without his fault. So kahit alang presumption, pwede pa rin i-prove ni John i-prove ni Jenny si John at fault kung bakit nawala yung kanyang sasakyan para maging liable si John about doon sa pagkasunog ng kotse ni Jenny. So hindi pa rin na-presume na liable si John dahil nga ayon sa Article 1265. So yun.
Obligation to do. Article 1266. The debtor in obligation to do shall also be released when the prestation become legally or physically impossible without the fault of the obligor. Mayroong two instances dito na kasabing if the instances will happen, then the obligation to do may be considered loss provided without the fault of the debtor. Kinds of impossibility. First, physical impossibility, which take place when the obligor dies or become physically incapacitated to perform the obligation. For example, Erica obliged herself to paint a picture to Abby to be finished within a month. 1 week after the obligation was continued, Erica met an accident, as a result of which her arm were amputated. Meron accident, so meaning walang kasalanan si debtor o si Erica. Dahil sa accident, na amputated ang kanyang mga braso. Para makapinta siya ng picture ni Abby, syempre kailangan niya kanyang mga braso at kamay. So dahil sa accident at injury, she can no longer perform her obligation. However, the rule does not apply where the bound herself of absolutely finish the painting, irrespective of whether she failure is caused by an accident or any reason in which cause she should be liable to pay damage for non-performance. Second is legal impossibility. When the obligation cannot be performed because it is rendered possible by provision of law. Although physical, it may be possible to perform. For example, Eric agreed to construct a commercial building for Angeline. The government refused to issue a building permit because the area has been declared by law as residential zone. So, under the law, bawal kang mag-construct ng isang commercial building sa isang residential zone kasi yun ay para lang sa mga residential purposes. So, the obligation of Eric is extinguished dahil it has become legally impossible. Dito ang performance ay nag-depreciation is directly prohibited by law. Difficulty of performance, Article 1267. When the service has become so difficult has to be manifest beyond the contemplation of the parties. The obligor may be also released therefore in whole or in part. Example, Patrick agreed to construct a road near a mountain. A very strong typhoon caused an avalanche, making the construction of the road dangerous to human lives, which has not foreseen or completed by the parties. So, in this case, may be released in whole or in part from his obligation to continue with the construction because the performance has become so difficult as to manifestly beyond the contemplation of the parties. Obligation proceed from a criminal offenses. Article 1268. When the debt of things certain and determined proceed from a criminal offenses, the debtor shall not be exempted from payment of its price, whatever may be the cause for the loss, unless the thing having been offered by him to the person who should receive it, the latter refuse without justification to accept it. For example, Juan stole the jeep of Jose. Here, Juan has an obligation to return the jeep to Jose. The obligation arises from an act punishable by law. Dito ay kahit na-destroy yung jeep, kahit hindi kasalanan ni Juan, siya pa rin ang liable for payment of its price. The exemption of the rule is when Jose is mora accepting. In either case, Juan is liable for its loss due to his fault. Right of creditor to proceed against the third person. Article 1269. The obligation having been extinguished by the loss of the thing, the creditor shall have all the right of action which the debtor may be against the third person by the reason of the loss. For example, Miguel obliged himself to deliver to Juan a specific horse. The horse is lost through the fault of Jose, the third person. So, habang ang obligation ni Miguel ay extinguished, siya ay hindi liable because the horse has lost without his fault and without delay, and the horse is specific. Of course, then the obligation of us, her, is extinguished, although his obligation is already extinguished by the creditor. One can still go against the third person. Who is the reason for the loss? So, ayun ang question dito. Jose, the third person, in this case, it was the third person. So, the law protects Juan by giving him the right to bring an action against Jose to recover the price of the horse with damages.
Article 1270. But before that, let's define first what is condonation. Condonation is a gratuitous abandonment by the creditor of his rights. Actually, condonation is a form of donation. For example, Pogi owns Ganda 1 million payable on December 25, 2024. Tapos comes December 25, 2024, sinabi ni Ganda kay Pogi na he need not pay 1 million pesos since she was condoning it. What are the requisites of remission? Ano nga ba ang mga essential requisites in order to constitute condonation? The requisites are the following. First, it must be gratuitous. So, the cost sa pag-remit or pag-condone ng credit or ng right ng creditor is no other than of liberality. of the creditor. Dapat walang change kasi nga liberality or free. When we say gratuitous, kasi free. Second, it must be accepted by the obligor. Kailangan ang condonation is accepted ni obligor. Third, the parties must have capacity. Of course, the capacity is always necessary in order to bind. Four, it must be inofficious. Inofficial meaning is excessive. Sabi nga, no one can give more than what which he can give to real. Hindi mo pwedeng ibigay lahat-lahat at saka magbigay ng sobra-sobra sa kakayahan mo kasi nga inofficious. 5. If made expressly, it must comply with the forms of donation. Article 1271. Itong Article 1271 is another presumption. Note, it shall be made voluntarily. Pag yung pag-deliver ng private document, dapat ito ay voluntarily. Presumption in case document of indebtedness is voluntarily delivered by creditor. Ang pinakamalaking question dito is what is the effect of deliver of private document evidencing the credits? It creates presumption implied remission. Article 1272, itong Article 1272, karugtong lang siya ng Article 1271 na kung saan about presumption na mayroong remission. 1272 tell us about presumption of voluntarily delivered. Sabi nga, pag yung private document in which a debt appeared is found in the possession of debtor, so if the private document na nandoon nga ang ebidensya ng utang ay napunta kay debtor, merong presumption na voluntarily deliver sa kanya. Creditor can always overcome such as presumption. Pwede niya ding i-prove na hindi niya yun i-deliver or binigay kay debtor na voluntarily. Article 1273. Ito ay about accessory obligation and principal obligation. Halimbawa, in-extinguish yung principal obligation, mawawala na po yung principal obligation. Halimbawa, may utang na 100,000 na nagka-interest ng 20,000. For example, kinondon o hindi na po sinisingil yung principal amount na 100,000, bali mawawala na din ang accessory obligation o yung interest na 20,000. Tapos sa kabaligtaran naman po, na kapag inalis ang accessory obligation o yung 20,000, hindi po mawawala yung principal na utang. Babayadin pa rin yung principal na 100,000.
Article 1274. Ang Article 1274 ay nagsasaad ng pagkakaroon ng accessory obligation na isang pledge o pangako ay tinuturing na narimit o nawalang bisa kapag ang bagay na ipinagkaloob ay natagpuan sa pamamay-ari ng debtor o na isang third party na may-ari ng bagay. Halimbawa, si Juan ay nangutang kay Pedro at nagbigay ng kotse bilang collateral. Pagkatapos ng ilang buwan, nakita ni Pedro ang kotse na ginagamit ni Juan. Ayon sa Article 1274, itinuturing na narimit ang obligation ni Juan kay Pedro dahil ang bagay na ipinagkaloob ay pagmamay-ari na ni Juan. Article 1275. Sa Article 1275, ang obligasyon ay nagwawakas kapag ang papel ng creditor at debtor ay nagtampo sa isang tao. Kapag ang isang tao ay sabay na creditor at debtor, ang obligasyon ay hindi nagiging valid. Halimbawa, si Clara ay may utang kay Bob. Sa kanyang pagkamatay, si Clara ang tagapagmana ng utang. Ngayon, siya na ang creditor sa utang na iyon at siya na rin ang debtor. Dahil dito, ang utang ay nagtagal at hindi na kailangan bayaran. Article 1276. Ang merger na nagaganap sa pangunahing debtor ay nakikinabang sa mga guarantor, habang ang confusion na nangyayari sa mga guarantor ay hindi nagtatanggal ng obligasyon. Halimbawa, si Mark ay may utang kay Dave at si Lisa ay guarantor. Kung si Mark ay naging creditor sa kanyang sariling utang dahil sa isang sitwasyon, halimbawa ay nagbayad siya, mawawala ang obligasyon para sa kanya. Ngunit kung si Lisa ay naging debtor din, ang kanyang obligasyon ay mananatili sa kanyang parte at hindi ito nagtatanggal ng utang para kay Mark. Article 1277. Ang confusion ay hindi nagwawakas ng joint obligation maliban sa bahagi ng creditor o debtor na nagkakaroon ng parehong papel. Halimbawa, ang tatlong magkakaibigan na sina Alex, Ben at Carla na may pinagsamang utang. Kung si Alex ay naging creditor at debtor sa kanyang sariling parte, mawawalan siya ng obligasyon sa kanyang parte lamang. Gayunpaman, ang obligasyon ni Ben at Carla ay mananatiling valid at kailangan pa rin bayaran ang kanilang parte ng utang.
Vicky, thank you for the ice cream. So good. Wow, delicious strawberry. Ice cream, yummy.